Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to show you how to download a certificate of title. So you go into this website here, which is www.sailis.sa.gov.au. SAILIS, I call it. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. And it'll take you into this section here where you go property search. You click on the property we're going to look at, and I go to 14, number 14, Avoyne Street, Paint Park, click search. Okay, sometimes when there are new developments, they're harder to find, and sometimes there could be a lot 1, lot 2, lot 3, lot 4. So in that case, it'll come up with a choice of different properties if it's harder to find, and you have to just scroll through and try and work out which one's your property that you're interested in. And it'll give you a whole pile of choices of reports or titles that you can actually get. So this one here is just a plan of the property. This one here is a valuation of the property. And then this one up here is the full copy of the title. And you'll notice they've got register search, title details, title and valuation package. And you can see their varying prices. So the reason we're going to run, we want to have a look at the copy of the title for another number of reasons. Firstly, is to find out who owns the property, particularly if we're looking at buying a property off somebody, or for my case, selling a property for somebody. I want to make sure I'm talking to the right person and not just some random person off the street. Secondly, we want to find out whether there's anything we need to know about the property. So is there any easements or encumbrances or any sort of things that might be a problem going down the track? And thirdly, we want to have a look at the plan of the property. So that'll give us all the dimensions. Won't necessarily give us the area, the size of the block, but it will tell us the frontage and the depth and the back and all that sort of stuff. So, so you can see it does cost money to run one of these things, so which is a bit frustrating. But at the end of the day, we just have to deal with that. Saying that, I have found a bit of a cheat along the way. Is that here down in the plan section, you can actually come down here and it says View Preview. So when you click on View Example, it just shows a sample one, which is not yours. But if you click on View Preview, it'll actually show you the plan of your particular property you're looking at. The only thing is the quality is very, very hit and miss. And sometimes you cannot read it at all. Other times you can read it fine. So this example here, you can barely read it. And we know it's somewhere along here, Avoyne Street here. So for whatever reason, it's only showing a portion of that. So if we were some of the houses down the bottom here, they're not showing up. So you can see with this preview one, it's very hit and miss. So it may not be particularly valuable, but maybe you can look at something to get some value out of that. Otherwise, you're going to have to fork out the $10 to get the copy of the plan, $10.80. Also up here, when you run this register search, you can see here it provides authorized copy of the certificate of title, as well as diagrams and plans. And in theory, that should have a copy of the plan in there as well. That's a bit hit and miss too sometimes, which is a bit frustrating. So I suppose it's just the fact we're dealing with a government department, so we're not 100% sure what is going to come out. But hopefully that's going to give us everything we're going to need. What I'll do is I'll give you a sample of one. I'll see if I can find one from the past here. We are in Brooklyn Park. And this might just be interesting for you to see what one of these things looks like. Let's see if I can find one. Have I got one in here? Certificate of title, location, brand, title. So this here is a copy of the certificate of title. So things that are important to understand is that when we talk about an address of a property, we talk about 1 Smith Street, Smithfield, or whatever. Whereas really the most important things are the volume and folio number. So that's the 5550-55 for the folio. Here, the other thing to notice is it's going to have the name of the owners there. It's going to have a description of the land. So we can here see Unit 1 Strata Plan 14242. So we know that's a strata title property, so it's not a Torrens title property. We know here there's an encumbrance over, or it's got the word now, but a mortgage over the property. And then we can see there's no easements or anything else affecting the property at all. And that's pretty much it. So there's nothing else to look at. So we found out who owns it. And we found out that he's got a loan to the Commonwealth Bank, and we found out it's strata title. When you run these things, you're going to find out different things, different for different properties at different times. So it's just always useful to run one of these reports. I've also ran a plan. For this one, when we ran the title plan, paid the money, didn't come back, certificate of title didn't come back with a copy of the plan. So I had to pay for the title separately. So this one here, this is what a community titled, it's actually strata title property looks like. So you can see they're all basically on one title and they're part of a group. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 detached dwellings, but they're all strata. So strata basically means that you own the inside of the house and everyone collectively owns the outside of the house. So all these common areas here, even the front yard and their backyards and the side yards, everything, and even the outside of the houses are all owned collectively. That means if someone wants to mow their lawn, then in theory everyone has to mow their lawn, or if someone wants to paint the house, in theory everyone has to paint the house. Saying that, in reality, most people just do their own thing, so it's not really a big deal, but this here has actually got a common driveway, so that will be maintained together. And likewise, the building, because everyone owns the outside of the building insurance will be done together as well. If we actually look at you can see Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4, and if you zoom in, they'll give us some more details. Sometimes they give us dimensions and a whole pile of stuff. So yeah, that's a sample of a community titled one, as Torrance titled one, sorry. And it's given us some other stuff which isn't particularly useful. So that's it. Like I said, it's a bit hit and miss. Sometimes you get more information, sometimes you get less, but it is quite useful to run these things, particularly if you're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a property or potentially millions of dollars doing a development. You want to make sure you haven't missed anything that's going to cause a problem down the track. So for the sake of $10 or $20, it might be worth something, running a by, have a look at it. Obviously, I'd only spend the $20 if you're definitely going ahead. If you've done everything else you're willing to check, and then it's just before you finally lock yourself into a contract, then maybe it's worth running one then. Obviously, if the numbers don't stack up and it's not going to be viable, then there's no point running a certificate of title. But yeah, hopefully that all makes sense. That's pretty much all you need to know about this. There's some other stuff in here as well, but nothing particularly useful for you guys. So yeah, I think I just basically what you do then is just put in your name, your phone number, pay the money, click on the click box, click confirm order, and then put your credit card details, and you get it straight away, and you just download it as a PDF, and you've got it for the rest of the time. Hopefully that made sense, and any issues, feel free to keep in touch. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next thing. Thanks.